Thank you. Can everybody hear me okay? We're having a bit of trouble at our end with the sound.
Sounds good to me, Frankie.
Right. In which case, thank you, Sue. You are the angel of the technical world for me. And so I would like to say welcome to Wales, everybody who's come and joined us, croeso, and please do just open yourself up to the wonderful music and song that we're going to share with you from. We're all from this city of Cardiff, but the songs will come from various parts of the country and various periods in history. So, yeah, just thank you to all the performers. Thank you. And I have to thank my partner, Darian, who is here. Many of you know that I'm visually impaired, so I can't see to read and I can't see the screen. But this does mean that I do have a prompter and somebody who can rescue me if I go off screen or the like. So thank you to Darian too. And I'm going to introduce the first performer, who is a friend, STACEY BLYTHE. And STACEY is a wonderful musician and singer. And as she teaches music at the Welsh College of Music and Drama, there must be, well, I was going to say hundreds, thousands of people who owe much of their musicality to STACEY. So STACEY, with her wonderful repertoire of Welsh songs and instrumentals, thank you for coming.
I just want to say, they don't let me in the music department, Frankie. I just work with the actors. I think I'd be too dangerous to be let loose on the musicians. But croeso cynnes I chi gyd. I want to start with a song that I've only just found, and it's called Hiraeth, which means longing. And it says, whatever the material of longing is, whether it's silk or velvet, it's so powerful and strong, it will always reach out and come and find you. Hiraeth strong and sometimes hiraeth painful. You can be sleeping deep and still longing will wake you. So this is Hiraeth. Dwedwch fawr iawn o wybodaeth o pa beth yw defnydd hiraeth a pha defnydd arog ynddo nag arfyddodd ei wisgo. Derfydd air a derfydd arian, derfydd melfed, derfydd sidan, derfydd pob dilledyn helaeth, eto hyn I dderfydd hiraeth. Hiraeth mawr a hiraeth creulon, hiraeth sydd yn torri'n nghalon, pan fod drom y nos yn cysgu, fe ddal hiraeth am ei ddeffrwy. Fe ddal hiraeth am ei ddeffrwy. So it's just a little one, but yeah, that tune really got me. So there's going to be some more now. You can see I'm getting all the levers ready on my harp. So the next one is a really sweet little harp solo called Lily a Musk a Drine. And that translates as the lily growing amidst the thorns. And I really like that because I have this image in my mind of a really brave little flower surrounded by all this sharp stuff, but she's still going for it, and she grows up and she can still get through all those thorns. So this is Lily a Musk a Drine.
Oh, so beautiful, Stacey.
Oh, I go in the zone. These little tunes, they're small, but they're big at the same time. They're lovely. So I'm going to do another piece now that's really, really famous, but I'm hopefully going to maybe do it in a little bit of a different way that you might have heard it before. The tune will sound the same, but hopefully the surroundings will be a little bit more different. So I'm very lucky. I work with a lovely musician called Rajesh David, and together we've just got an album coming out called Trab or Die, and this is the title track. And so he's an amazing classical Indian musician, and he works me really hard, and I have to really concentrate. And we really fell in love with this song, Trab or Die, and it talks about, I'll give you the translation, like a vague translation. So you've got The one I love is far from my heart. So far that longing for this person turns me grey. Although I just dyed my hair today, so that doesn't really work. But anyway, sorry, back in the zone, back in the zone. The one I love lives far from me. My yearning for them turns me grey. And hereith and longing to see her is the thing that moves my soul. And it talks about how strong, now what does it say, kavoith. So strength isn't just iron, and it doesn't always last, but pure love, when there are two, is stronger than steel. So it's a little song with a big heart. So this is Trab or Die. Just need to check I've got my D naturals. Yes, I have. Okay, this is Trab or Die. Mae'r honna gan fy nghalon i ymhell oddi mae'n byw a hiraeth am ei gweled i wneud yn llwyd fy lliw cafodd nid yw ond o feryg glendid nid yw yn parhau ond cariad pur sydd fel y dyr yn para tra bod o'r dewis hardd, dewis STACEY, dewis Lourdes lan, chyn bydd dyfar genefig, naeth rewin y tan. Cafoedd nid yw ond feryg, glendid nid yw parhau, ond cariad pur sydd fel y dyr yn para tra bod ond cariad pur sydd fel y dyr yn para tra bod
Lovely.
So, how am I doing for time?
You're doing all right. We've got
Am I
plenty.
doing? Am I
Yeah.
good? Okay, I'd love to sing you just something. I mean, it's a bit scary with all these brilliant vocalists in the gig, but hey, come on, we can do this. I also finally got a chance to use a song I've always loved in this new storytelling piece I'm doing with Michael Harvey in the On the Border Storytelling Festival, and we're doing it with Eva Maria Mutka as well. It's a new retelling of the Llyn. Should be great. So, ma can gyda fi, I've got a lovely song, and it's called Tra bod dŵr y môr yn hallt. And that said, as long as there's salt in the sea, and as long as my hair is growing, and as long as which side? Yeah, that side. As long as my heart beats in my chest, I'll be faithful to you. And then the next verse says, I've chosen you, and you are more and more lovely every day. And I think it's really interesting that it says, as long as these things keep going, I will be faithful to you. because they are going to keep growing. And actually, your hair keeps on growing after you've even passed away. So that's a really good promise. That's a really weird introduction, but imagine it was much more poetic and beautiful than that. But the song is really cute. So this is Tra bod dŵr, amor and haft. While the sea is still salty, I will promise to love you. Tra bod dŵr, amor and haft, a thrabong wallt yn tyfu. Tra bod calon yn fy mron, mi fydda ffyddlon I ti. Rwy'n dewis dy fod a dy ôl, bob dydd ar ôl ei gilydd. Tithau sydd â'n oelyd bach, yn decach wynach beunydd. Tra bod dŵr y môr yn hallt, a thrabong wallt yn tyfu. Tra bod dŵr wrth fy mron, mi fydda ffyddlon I ti. Glanach oed bob dydd, neu fis I am ffydd yn ffolach. Mwyn y gŵr anoedd diwedd, dod dwi garedd bellach. Tra bod dŵr y môr yn hallt, a thrabong wallt yn tyfu. Tra bod calon yn fy mron, mi fydda ffyddlon I ti.
Lovely.
I hope he is faithful after all of that. I'm sure.
Thank you, Stacey.
You're very welcome.
Thank you so much. So beautiful. There's something so haunting and evocative about those Welsh tunes. Just beautiful. Thank you.
I've got one more to finish, if that's all right. Or do I need to stop? I can stop if you like.
We are ahead of schedule, so there is time if you.
One little. If you can,
Okay.
can we
Sorry.
squeeze one little tune in?
Yeah, fine.
Okay, so this is a really cute little tune. It's called A Glomen, the Dove. And loads of folk songs have this thing where people talk to birds. And the glomen is different. The glomen, the dove, talks to somebody this time. And someone's walking through a lovely wood and they can hear a little bird who seems really upset. And so they say, what's going on? And the bird says, oh, it's all a mess. It's not working out. I'm on my own and it's, you know, I shouldn't be. So the person listening says it's a poet and they say, listen, it's all going to work out. You just have a bit of faith. You'll be okay. So this is a glomen. Let's check I've got my A's. Yes.
Beautiful.
Just a little one.
Lovely, Stacey. Thank you so much.
I'm so sorry I got my timing muddled, and that was just, you've now had two massive thanks because that was just so moving, so expressive. Thank you so much, Stacey.
My pleasure.
Yes. So again, again, many thanks. And we're very much staying in with the Welsh tradition. And I'm going to introduce two friends, one, Pauline Down, of which more later. You'll see Pauline later on in the concert because we sing together some of the time. She is both a singer and runs community choirs and singing groups. And with her is one of Wales's best storytellers in both Welsh and English. So I'll leave Pauline to tell you what they're going to do. Thanks.
Frankie. So Michael sends his apologies. He sadly couldn't be with us tonight, but we had to pre-record our piece anyway. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, we had to pre-record it anyway because we're going to do a very condensed version of the story of Taliesin, just a little snippet from the first half of the Taliesin story. And whilst we're doing it, we thought it would be quite cool if I started to experiment with my new toy, which is this loop station. I don't know if you can see a little bit of it there. I don't want to move it too much. Because what's cool about this loop station is I can improvise a little pattern in the moment, put it in, add a little layer of harmony or rhythm, and then come right away from it and sing over it and improvise more. So it's a really cool little toy. So you'll see a little bit of that. So this is a little snippet of the wonderful, wonderful story of Taliesin.
Sing it with me. Or any harmony you like. Be happy.
This is the story of Taliesin. Taliesin is the Welsh spirit of prophecy, poetry and inspiration. This story starts on the banks of Llyn Tegid, Bala Lake. And there on the shores of that great long lake, there was a forest. And by the edge of the forest, between the forest and the lake, there was a cauldron. There was a fire under the cauldron, and the cauldron bubbled hot, and it was being looked over by Cridwen, the sorceress. She was going to make a powerful magic spell. But she needed the firewood, and she yelled for Guyon Bach. Guyon Bach, a knobbly little kid, he came rushing out with a big pile of wood. He put it underneath the cauldron, and the flames reached high. And when she saw that, she was happy, and Caridwen the sorceress lay down and fell fast asleep. And Guyon Bach watched the cauldron bubble and boil. It was hot and exciting, and he peered inside, and there he saw the strangest thing. On the surface of the mixture, 1, 2, 3, strange drops manifested themselves. And still the cauldron was bubbling and boiling, and what he didn't realise was that these 3 drops were made of pure inspiration, poetry and creativity. The rest of the cauldron was made of pure poison. You can't have those 2 things in the same cauldron, and those 3 drops, they flew out of the mixture and they landed right on Guyon Bach's finger. It was the most painful thing he'd ever experienced, and he did exactly what we would have done. Ow! Oh. He swallowed those 3 drops. And in that moment, he knew everything. He knew everything that had been, everything that is, and everything that would be. And with all that knowledge in his head, he knew what would happen next. Caridwen, the sorceress, would wake up and kill him. So with all that knowledge, he knew exactly what to do. Run. Guyon Bach ran and ran. Caridwen the sorceress woke up. She was catching up on him. He could feel her hot breath on the back of his neck. And then something strange happened. He started to put his hands down on the ground, but he didn't have hands anymore, he had paws. He was covered in fur, he had long ears, he was a hare, and vroom. But just as he thought he was escaping, he heard something else running behind him. He didn't need to look round to know what it was. It was a hunting dog. It was getting closer and closer. He could feel the hunting dog's breath on the back of his neck, and then the hare jumped into the air just as the hunting dog leapt, and it changed from a hare into a fish. Splash into the nearby river, leaving the dog panting on the back. But then there was another splash. The dog had turned into an otter. The otter was gaining on the fish, which was tiring, and just as it was about to bite down on its tail, the fish leapt into the air, and as the water dried on its back, boom, wings appeared from its body. Boom, away it flew, transformed into a bird. High in the sky above the bird was a hawk. It saw the bird and folded its wings and dropped like a stone, reaching out with its talons. But you know what? Just at the critical moment, there was no bird, or feathers, or beak, or eyes. A little grain of wheat was all it was, blown down, down, down towards the farm, blown over the roof of the farm building, and then whoosh, straight into the barn. And there it nestled, on top of a huge pile of 100,000 other grains of wheat. And then through the open barn door came a black hen with red eyes. She looked around, inspected the grains of wheat, until she saw a grain of wheat that was plumper and tastier than the others. She pecked it. She swallowed it. And then on the way out, turned herself back into Caridwen, the sorceress. Went home very pleased with herself that she had caught, consumed and killed her enemy, Guyon Bach. However, after a while, she knew something was not right. She began to feel a bit strange, a bit ill. And then she thought to herself, no, it can't be. But you know what she was? She watched her belly swell. It got fuller and fuller. and she realised that she was going to give birth to Gwion Bach, her enemy. She had a simple and brutal plan. She gave birth to the baby, and when she saw it, her heart melted. The baby was so beautiful, and it was still her baby, but she couldn't live with it. She got a calf skin, put the baby on the calf skin, got needle and thread, sewed the baby inside the calf skin, watched its little face disappear into the darkness of the bag. Broke the thread, lifted the leather parcel with her baby inside, walked westwards to the sea, held it high and threw it with all her might. She threw it into the sea and watched it disappear over the horizon. Lan a lawr, ar y tonnau mawrion, llanw a thrai, baban bychan mewn sach. And that baby stayed in the bag on the sea for 40 years. 40 years later, a man called Elfin goes to fish. He sets his net in the estuary, goes inland and waits for the tide to come in, for the sun to go down, for the stars to come out, for the stars to fade, for the sun to rise and for the sea to ebb, and then he would go and catch all the fish in his nets, but his nets were empty. What was he meant to do? Where were the fish? He noticed something. It was a stone. He was about to kick it in his frustration when he thought there was something strange about it. So he picked it up, and it was far too light to be a stone. And there, amongst the barnacles and limpets, he could see a line of stitches. He took it to the shore, and he took his knife and he unpicked the stitches. And finally, when he could get his thumbs in either side, he pulled either side of the bag apart, looked inside, and looking out at him was a baby's face. But you see, this baby's face was like no other, because its forehead was gleaming with a bright, iridescent golden light. And without even thinking, Elfin said the words, Taliesin. Taliesin. Shining forehead. Yeah, said the baby. Taliesin, ydw i? That's right. I'm Taliesin. Well, what do you do when you find a speaking baby that you've just fished out of the sea? You go and see your dad, because he'll know. So he carried the baby all the way back to his father's house, and to his surprise, as he carried the baby spoke, but not baby talk, not normal human language at all, in fact. Poetry.
Elfyn deg, byddam ddedwydd, elfyn deg, byddam ddedwydd, elfyn deg, byddam ddedwydd, danfonwyd I ti brydydd, elfyn deg, byddam ddedwydd, danfonwyd I ti brydydd, elfyn deg, paid ag wylo, nes awna, doed ag felo,
Elfin dig, said the baby in poetry. Elfin, my friend, be happy. The sea has sent you a poet.
elfyn deg, paid ag wylo, nes awna, doed ag felo.
Elfin dig, do not cry on account of the fish that you have not caught. You've caught something much better. You've caught a poet.
Rhinwedd sydd ar fy nhafod, wedi lawer rhyfeddod.
Talent and magic is on my tongue. You will see many more strange and wondrous things.
Mod yn fach, rwy'n gelfydd.
I might be little, but I'm skillful.
Mod yn fach, rwy'n gelfydd.
Elfin dig, my friend, you have helped me and now I will help you.
Elfyn deg, paid ag wylo, nes awna, doed ag fel
to me, and I will be good to you.
Rhinwedd sydd ar fy nhrefod, wedi lawer am ryfeddod, anfonwyd I ti
Elfyn I've come to you as a poet and a blessing.
Danfonwyd I ti Elfyn Deg, bydda'n ddedwyr, danfonwyd I bydda'n ddedwyr, Elfyn Deg, bydda'n ddedwyr.
Elfyn, my friend, be happy. Well, he carried the poetry-speaking baby inside his father's castle and went into a room and popped the baby on the floor. The baby was sitting up quite nicely, and then his father came in. A man called Gwyddno Garan here who had seen many strange things in his life, but nothing as strange as this. What have you brought me? What have you fished out of the sea then? Gwyddno leans forward to look, doesn't really like what he sees. Gives the strange child a prod and a poke with a stick and asks a very good question. What are you? Human or spirit? And the baby looks up, opens his mouth and speaks. Bym ci, bym hydd, bym uwch y mynydd, bym bôn, bym rhaw, bym bwyall yn llaw.
Bym ci, bym hydd, bym uwch y mynydd, bym bôn, bym rhaw, bym bwyall yn llaw, bym ceiliog, bym tarw, bym marw, bym biw. Bym ci, bym hydd, bym uwch y mynydd, bym bôn, bym rhaw, bym bwyall yn llaw, bym ceiliog, bym tarw, bym marw, bym biw. Bym ci, bym hydd, bym uwch y mynydd, bym bôn, bym rhaw, bym bwyall yn llaw, bym ceiliog,
Mynydd, bym bôn, bym rhaw, bym bwyall
bym hydd, bym
yn llaw,
uwch y mynydd, bym bôn, bym rhaw, bym bwyall yn llaw,
bym marw, bym biw.
tarw, bym marw, bym biw.
I've been a dog, I've been a stag, I've been a hind on the hill, I've been a log of wood, I've been an axe in the hand, I've been a cockerel, I've been a bull, I've been alive and I've been dead. I've been alive and I've been dead. Bym uwch y mynydd, bym bôn, bym rhaw, bym bwyall yn llaw, bym ceiliog, bym tarw, bym marw, bym byw, bym marw, bym byw. I've been alive, I've been dead. Been alive, I've been dead. Gwyddno Garan here was not impressed, and he said, oh no, you've caught a bloody poet. And a poet is exactly what Taliesin was.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Pauline and Michael. That was utterly captivating. I mean, it's really magic, and I love those shape-changing, all the images that stories like that have. That was truly, truly magical. Thank you so much. And now I'm going to introduce a short video with the chair of CND Cymru telling us of the work of currently of the Welsh branch of CND. So welcome on video to Jill Evans.
Jill Evans ydw i, Cadeirydd CND Cymru. Ym mis Medi eleni rydyn ni'n dathlu yn benblwydd yn 20. Mae'r byd wedi newid llawer ers 1981, ond mae arfer niwclear dal gyda ni. Beth sydd gyda ni heddi hefyd yw cytundeb rhyngwladol ar wahardd arfer niwclear. Felly mae'n bwysicach na'r erioed bod ni'n dal i ymgyrchu ac i godi llais dros heddwch. Felly diolch o galon i Frankie Armstrong a cherddorion dros heddwch a diarfogi am gân a cherdd o Gymru. Gwyliwch a mwynhewch. My name is Jill Evans. I'm chair of CND Cymru. This year we celebrate our 40th anniversary. The world has changed a lot since 1981, but we still have nuclear weapons. What we also have is an international treaty to ban nuclear weapons. And so it's more important than ever that we still campaign and raise our voices for peace. So thank you so much to Frankie Armstrong and Musicians for Peace and Disarmament for songs and sounds from Wales. Watch and enjoy.
Well, thank you, all of the CND Cymru who are joining us, and thank you, Jill, for that. And I'll talk a little bit more about Musicians for Peace and Disarmament later. But at this point, I'd like to introduce another dear friend and colleague, Laura Bradshaw, who also runs choirs and singing groups, one of which she's going to tell you about now. So thank you for coming, Laura, and I believe we've got a treat.
We have, yes.
Treat.
Thank you for inviting us, Frankie, and I think you actually appear in this treat, so that's great. So yeah, I'm the music facilitator for the OASIS One World Choir project, which has just been the most amazing project. I can see actually there's people in the audience, Abimbola, Ibrahim, Tracy, my project manager's here, probably more people, Chris, and we're a wonderful choir of people from around the world. Not necessarily for good reasons. They've been displaced from their home countries. So anyway, our project is about well-being, it's about integration, and it's about empowering people and communities to come together and to stand on our own 2 feet and learn about each other. So through the project, especially we've always written songs as part of our project because that is particularly amazing thing way to find out about each other and to let voices be heard. But lately through lockdown, because we couldn't perform, we've been making song videos, and we've written loads and loads of songs. And Abimbola's here, and she's been very key in writing a lot of the songs. And Christiana and Ibrahim and Chris, all of us have. We've made amazing collaborations. And I think the song that we're going to play, if there's time, we may get another one. But the song that is going to be played is called "Lifting Up My Mind." Because there's a chorus where we sing "lifting up my mind," but the whole point of the song is I'm not free till we're all free. So that's the song comes from, unless we create equality in the whole world, none of us are going to feel truly free. Those of us with lots of privilege think we're free, but we're not, because we deep down hiding all this lack of freedom because we're not creating it for everyone. So I think that's, and in the middle of this song, actually you'll see Ibrahim and the men's Oasis dancers doing this amazing dance in the middle section. And also you'll hear the beautiful voice of Mana, who has co-written with her husband and her father-in-law, some beautiful Persian poetry. So, and that fits with the theme of the song. So that's enough from me, and over to Sue to present the song. Thank you.
Feel my body, feel my pain.
Walk in my shoes, know the rights I claim. Start at my feet, dragging me behind. A glimpse of her friendly hands, lifting up my mind.
Rising in
Feel uncertain, feel very unknown.
so much lately, this fear has grown.
Word of acknowledgement, have more power.
Worldly weapons, you
Less but remedy found. Voice the remedy need. Less but remedy found.
lifting up my mind, lifting up my mind.
شب مانند نگاهت زیباست، تو به زیبایی ماهی در شب. شب اگر ماه نداشت آسمان تنها بود. نوگل آزادی تازه برپا شده است. میرسد روزی که چون درختی آزاد ریشه در خاک زده نصف جنگل بشود. قطره‌های باران همصدا با نفس ثانیه‌ها همچنان رود خروشان رفته تا به دریا برسد و همه می‌دانند آب‌ها در همه جا گسترده.
I am not free until we are all free. I am not free until we are all free.
Feel my burden, feel my pain, feel my burden, feel my pain. I saw at my feet, dragging me behind. A glimpse of a friendly hand, lifting up my mind. Lifting up my mind.
I'm not free till we are all free, rising in solidarity. I'm not free till we are all free, rising in the solidarity.
I'm not free till we're all free, rising in solidarity.
I'm not free till we all free, rising in solidarity. I'm not free till we all free, rising in solidarity. I'm not free till we all free, rising in solidarity.
Lifting up my mind, oh, lifting up my mind, lifting up my mind, lifting up my mind.
Fantastic, Laura. Fantastic.
Thank you very much, and thank you on behalf of Tracy. Put the video together. Tracy's the videographer and my project manager. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, Laura, it's always so heartwarming to see or be involved with OASIS. So thank you so much for making that available for us. And now I'm going to introduce a trio called Bread and Roses, which is made up of Laura Pauline and myself. So you've already met us all. And sadly, because of the restrictions, because of COVID, we haven't been able to perform together since lockdown. In fact, the day I locked down, which was March the 16th last year, we'd actually been together doing some singing up at the Cardiff Library. So, I'm so looking forward to us being able to sing in person together. So what we're going to do for this little set for Bread and Roses is the trios are done on a video, with Laura having done all the techie clever stuff, and then we're going to do a solo each. So I'm going to pass over to Pauline to introduce our first trio song.
Okay, so thanks, Frankie. Our first song is a song called Something Sings, and it's by Rosie Waite. Rosie was a friend in North Wales when I lived there, who loved to sing. She sadly passed away a few years ago. She created Something Sings while she was attending a course I used to run up there called The Joy of Singing. And I've put it into 3 very simple parts. And Laura and Frankie and I just love singing this song. So I dedicate this to Rosie and all her friends in North Wales. I can see some of you here this evening. This is Something Sings.
Let me go where I will. I hear sky-born music still. It's in the beat of wind, and when the robins sing, over heath or valley floor, wherever there is strife, as long as we have life, something sings. There is music in the trees, as leaf and branch blow in the breeze. Wherever winds may lurk, or someone whistles as they work, it's there in times of joy, as well as times of pain. In the midst of ugly things, something sings. There is music all around, wherever voice and nature sound. It's in our songs of love, of protest and of toil. So powerful it was banned for slaves who worked the soil. Whatever else goes on, as long as we have breath, we have song.
Are we going straight to Laura, the Welsh Shanty?
Yes.
Can everyone hear?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. I thought we were hearing another song first. So this is a new shanty. It's not really of the sea, but it's about the sea, and it's a sea shanty for Wales that I wrote, I think, in response to the TikTok rise of the Wellerman that everyone was wanting to sing, and anyway, I didn't really want to sing that at the time. I've sung it since. But so my response was to write a welcoming song of Wales that, I don't know, just anyone can sing, even if they're not from Wales. But anyway, so I'd like to introduce my daughter, Hannah, who is also a singer-songwriter. She's only going to be with me for another 2 months, so 2.5 months. So I'm making the most of her here. And here's the shanty. So please join in. The chorus, there's a lot of sections where it says, down, down the land to the sea, or lawr, lawr y tir i'r môr. Down, down the land to the sea, lawr, lawr y tir i'r môr. Oh, Wales, it is a land of song, the land of the dragon and the voices of, and here you'll find a welcome throng. Down, down the land to the sea, lawr, lawr y tir i'r môr. So roll the rain down the mountainside, down, down the land to the sea, and roll the streams into waters wide, down, down the land to the sea. Lawr, lawr y tir i'r môr. O cael on land with sweet, sweet charm, down, down the land to the sea. With spirit pure we do no harm, down, down the land to the sea. Lawr, lawr y tir i'r môr. From Cardiff Bay to Ballaway, down, down the land to the sea. Our folk will always have their say, down, down the land to the sea. Lawr, lawr y tir i'r môr. So roll the rain down the mountainside, down, down the land to the sea, and roll the streams into waters wide, down, down the land to the sea. Lawr, lawr y tir i'r môr. Oh, Wales, it was a land of coal, the land of the dragon and the voices of, we hope to green our future roll, down, down the land to the sea. Lawr, lawr y tir i'r môr. So roll the rain down the mountainside, down, down the land to the sea, and roll the streams into waters wide, down, down the land to the sea. Lawr, lawr y tir i'r môr, down, down the land to the sea. Lawr, lawr y tir i'r môr. Thank you. And what I should have said, I forgot to say at the start, is a shorter version than the actual original. But there was lots of people in, I created a video that was loads and loads of people were amazing who had been helpful to our OASIS project through the life of our OASIS One World Choir project. So actually Pauline's in it, Darian's in it because he looks after Frankie on our gigs and stuff like that. Lots of people who are here. STACEY was in it as well. So thank you all those people for putting the time in to be in that as well. So anyway, thank you.
Okay, so thanks, Laura. That was gorgeous, and Hannah, it's great to hear you singing together. So this is a little song. I thought, but you'd seen me using this loop station gadget on the film, so I thought I would dare. I've never done this before ever. Do something with it live. Anything could happen. And this is a song that actually came from improvising with something similar to this. It's a much more basic loop pedal. And I was improvising away, and I'd been very, very nourished by going to some woods near to me called Cwm George. And there is a grove of beech trees, which is absolutely splendid, whatever time of year. So this song that has come out of the improvisation is called Beech Tree Balm. So nothing's pre-recorded on these gadgets. I'm doing it all in the moment, but layering it up as I go along. So fingers crossed, guys. Go like that if it's too quiet, and go like that if it's too loud, because I've no idea. Come take a walk down this well-trodden path, down this well-trodden path. Come take a walk down this well-trodden path, down this well-trodden path. Step under a canopy, take a walk, cooling shade from tall beech tree. Step under a canopy, cooling shade from tall beech tree. Step under a canopy, take a walk, cooling shade from tall beech tree. Step under a canopy, cooling shade from tall beech tree. Columns reaching a canopy, slender columns reaching from tall beech tree. Slender columns reaching a canopy, slender columns reaching from tall beech tree. Slender columns reaching a canopy, slender columns reaching from tall beech tree. Slender columns step under a canopy, slender columns reaching from tall beech tree. Slender columns breathe in scent of mossy bark, slender beech tree balm will ease your heart. Slender columns breathe in scent of mossy bark, slender columns beech tree balm will ease your heart in the cooling shade, 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 in the cooling shade of this quiet green temple. Come take a walk down this well-trodden path, down this well-trodden path. Come take a walk down this well-trodden path, down this well-trodden path. Breathe in scent of mossy bark, beech tree balm will ease your heart. Breathe in scent of mossy bark, beech tree balm will ease your heart. Beech tree balm will ease your heart. Down this well-trodden path, beech beech tree balm, ease my heart. Boodin-doo-da-da-day, boodin-doo-da-da-day, boodin-doo-day, boodin-doo-da-day, beech tree balm. Come take a walk down this well-trodden path.
Oh,
Beautiful, Pauline.
fantastic.
Evokes Come George for us, where we love walking. We're staying in Wales, and this is a song I wrote year before last, I think, when I first came across the extraordinary story of the women's peace petition after the First World War. Over the course of 1923 and 1924, a group of women got together and formed a peace committee and sent a petition asking no more war, and sent it to every household in Wales for the women in the households to sign. And absolutely extraordinarily, they got over 390,000 signatures. And the idea of collecting these was to send them to Washington to join a women's peace petition that women were doing in the United States. And this story virtually got lost. I've asked numerous women around Wales, did you know this story? And so many of us didn't until very recently. And there still must be millions who don't. So that was partly why I wrote this song, to try and have people hear the story. And also because it's called the Granny's Peace Project. And because my grandmother was Welsh, she was from Newtown, and her name was Lillian Owen. So I've called the song Lily and woven her into the story of women and peace activism in Wales. So it's just called Lily. Lily, who were you then when the men came back from the trenches? There was a wall to build anew. Women determined to make sure there would never be another such war. There's a petition to sign. Did you? Did you? Born in a small Welsh market town, your dad worked all hours in the mill. You're one of 5 children, your mother has died. Lily, you're the oldest, you've a role to fill. At 16, you're helping to feed the family, working your fingers raw to the bone. Gussets and collars and cuffs, gussets and seams. Lily, more than shirts, there are dreams to be sown. Did you join the women who marched in the streets, and the hundreds and thousands whose names can be seen sent across the Atlantic to plead with our leaders? the ending of wars, of all wars, is our dream. And Lily, how is it that we didn't know the women of Wales raise their voices so strong? I'd like to think you were there in the crowd, helping me feel proud of where I belong. And 60 years later, the women of Wales led the way to the Greenham base, joined by thousands more. No more weapons of war, let the doves fly, it's peace we embrace. Some of us marched, all of us sang, the women of Wales led the way. Rid us of weapons, study war no more. The price of men's pride is too fearful to pay. And now, with the storms gathering around, women cry out from the cities and farms, as our grandmothers did a century ago, with their call, no more, no more men at arms. Lily, who were you then, when the men came back from the trenches?
Wow.
Thank you. And now we have another video put together by Bread and Roses with the actual song Bread and Roses that was inspired by a women's strike for better working conditions in Lawrence, Massachusetts, in the textile mills in 1912. So we're still with women's history, with women's demands for a better life, but not only for the means of subsistence, not only for bread. Their slogan, we want bread, but we want roses too, has certainly come down to us from history. And the poem that James Oppenheim inspired, written by that slogan, has been set by various people. And this is a setting for the three voices by Leon Rothelson, a very dear friend. So over to the video of Bread and Roses singing Bread and Roses.
As we come marching, marching in the beauty of the day, a million darkened kitchens, 1,000 mill lofts grey, are touched by all the radiance that a sudden sun discloses. For the people hear us singing, bread and roses, bread and roses. As we come marching, marching, we battle too for men, for they are women's children, and we mother them again. Our life shall not be sweated from birth until life closes. Hearts as well as bodies, give us bread, but give us roses. As we come marching, marching, unnumbered women dead go crying through our singing their ancient song of bread. Small art and love and beauty, their drudging spirits new. Yes, it is bread we fight for, but we fight for roses too. As we come marching, marching, the future hears our call. The rising of the women means the rising of us all. No more, no more, the drudge and idler cannot toil where one reposes, but a sharing of life's glories, bread and roses, bread and roses.
Well, thank you, Pauline and Laura, for putting that together with me. I'd like to just say a little bit about Musicians for Peace and Disarmament now and link that to Greenham, because I don't know how many of you heard my line, and 60 years later the women of Wales led the way to the Greenham base. It was the women of Cardiff who started the whole Greenham action, which has certainly been the greatest women's peace action in my lifetime. And it was largely the Greenham actions that brought about the early Musicians for Peace and Disarmament in 1983. And shortly after that, I became a patron. John Williams, the amazing guitarist, has been the chair, the president for the whole of the time. I mean, it's just the most enormously influential organisation made up of superb musicians who, like this evening, all give their services free so that all the money can then be sent to peace organisations and anti-militarist and anti-armaments organisations. So this evening we decided, because I wanted us really based in Welsh music and Welsh history, we're sharing the proceeds from tonight, for which many thanks, and I'm sure the information about donations are still there somewhere. Thank you, all of you, because that'll be halved between CND Wales and Musicians for Peace and Disarmament to further the desperately needed cause of peace. So that's, thank you so much, everybody. And we haven't finished. We have the most wonderful duo coming now. Bob Evans and Mary Ann Roberts, friends and colleagues with extraordinary skill and knowledge they bring to their work as BRAGOD, which is a duo which is aiming to try and reunite both classical Welsh poetry with the bardic music tradition of Wales. So you will hear some totally extraordinary sounds, and thank you so much, Mary Ann and Bob, for coming and joining us to be our last guests on this concert.
Thank you, Frankie. Diolch yn fawr iawn, everyone. So Bob and I will do two pieces for you this evening. The first is something that was written about 250 years ago, but was passed off, tried to be passed off as something that was written in the 6th century. Nevertheless, it is beautiful, and we were asked to we were commissioned to set it to music for a festival that is ongoing now called Landscapes of Faith. So this is the Gorsedd prayer, which was written by Iolo Morganwg. And I'll do the Welsh and Bob will translate into English for you. Okay? Duw dy nawdd.
God give your protection.
Ag y nawdd nerth.
And in protection, power.
Ag y nerth pwyll.
And in power, care or meditation.
Ag ym mhwyll gwybod.
And in meditation, knowledge.
Ag ym wybod gwirionedd.
And in knowledge, truth.
Ag ym wirionedd cyfiawnder.
And in truth, justice.
Ag yn yfiawnder cariad.
And in justice, love.
Ag yng nghariad caru Duw.
And in love, loving God.
Ag yng ngharu Duw caru pob byw.
And in loving God, loving every living thing.
Wow.
Encore, encore.
Thank you, people. Such a pleasure to be here today, and I just want to say a big thank you to all the people behind the scenes, for us non-techie people. In order for us to be able to do our performances, we really need you. So thank you so much, and thank you to all the other marvelous performances. Laura, Pauline, Michael's not here, Stacey's on her way to West Wales, Hannah, how wonderful to hear you, and all the people from the Oasis choir. Thank you to them as well. And of course, we need an audience. So thank you for being such a marvelous audience. So we'll do a piece of poetry now, which is actually from around the 7th century. Bob will play the ancestor to the Cruth. So the first piece we did was accompanied by the Cruth, and this piece is accompanied by the ancestor to the Cruth, the lyre. And we chose this piece, Peace Dinogad. Dinogad smock, it translates. This is in the voice of a mother to her child. And she's telling her child about the prowess of his father as a hunter. She's telling him about his hunting dogs, Gif and Gaff, and the places where his father would have hunted, and the animals that he would have hunted, the weapons that he would have used. So all this is contained in this, but I always think, wouldn't it be great if that child's father was actually there and not maybe killed off in some battle somewhere? Bob, did you want to say anything else?
No, I think that's it.
So this is Dinogad smock, and we know it's to a small child because the first line says, Dinogad smock, it was made from marten skins. And martens, being such a tiny animal, could only make a tiny smock. Gif, gaff, dal, dal, do, gef, levi, bus, gampog, malban, lath, lew, O'r sawlid gyrhaeddi, gyda di a'i gigwein o wythwch all-lein, all-lwynen nid anghei oll ni fei o
Wow.
Thank you.
Oh.
The King film does it really.
It's not a good look.
Oh, that was wonderful.
That's it, folks. Thank you very much.
A few techie troubles at this end. Thank you so much, Mary Ann. Bob. I mean, it's such a unique combination that you have developed. It's just stunning. So can I thank all the performers, please, for giving your wonderful services for the evening. And thank you both to CND Cymru and to MPD for helping with the publicity and making it possible for us to have you lovely audience. And thank you to all of you who have donated towards for a more peaceful world we can but hope. And I love the ending of that first song that BRAGOD did, you know, a love of all creatures on this earth, a love of life and a love of all life's creatures. So I think that is what I will leave you with, along with a massive echo of Mary Ann's thanks, particularly to Sue, without which none of this could happen. Sue, our techie miracle worker. So thank you to everybody, and go well, take care, stay well, and sing.
And don't forget to donate.
Thanks, Sue.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Frankie.